so they can't split push.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they'll pick something like even a Rasta. Can make sure you can break that high ground.
That sounds nice. Oh, do you think they'll go for a Rasta or for someone that can kill the NP when he's off doing his own thing, find the Lycan in the jungle?
Rasta's pretty good at that. You hit level 20, you get your 8-second shackle.
Level 20? Hello?
All right, you hit your level 9, you get your 5-second shackle. It's good enough. But also, I think the most important part is I'm not too sure if Newbee will want to play the support duo. Sansa Rasta isn't. That's not really what I envision from Newbee. I envision Kaka more of these like roaming heroes, the Sand King, these Earth Spirits.
Bounty Hunter,
yeah, the Bounty
Riki,
Hunters.
Perhaps. Bounty Hunter I would like.
Bounty Hunter could be interesting. Just makes every pick off you. Okay, so the Earth Spirit. That's a Kaka hero. It's very good at it.
Even more silence for Winter Wyvern. And Tusk too. I think silence is a lot of value here.
I'm really concerned about Newbee's lack of building damage, though. I think they have to snowball this game really hard to win.
Invoker's still looking pretty good. Oh wait, no, it's banned. Okay, TA
TA
banned.
as well, so.
Tinker, don't like so much.
SF still open.
I think Tinker could be interesting. You can TP on the Woes. They have Sansa, which is really annoying in teamfights, and Ember to find you, but if Liquid was confident picking into game 1 because they knew something about the hero we didn't.
That's true. And they have the Winter Wyvern to save him too.
Yeah.
They actually don't have that many ways to kill him through that. Who wins that lane? Ember versus Tinker.
Tinker.
I guess Tinker wins most.
Yeah.
Is it that bad though?
It's awful. Unless Ember can consistently kill Tinker, which is pretty hard because of laser, I think. I think Ember's a really bad laner personally. He's like 1 armor and pretty mediocre everything in lane kill threat.
Dare I say the fact that we haven't had a Naga ban?
Oh, nah. They've
It's
already
not
got
really
so
that
much
kind of
push
game.
though.
Yeah, it's not really a Naga game.
With Lycan Nature's Prophet, that sounds odd.
Death Prophet.
Okay.
Huh.
Well, that was something Ben spoke about in game 1.
Yeah, I thought Newbee might take it though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might have been on the other side of it, but it is not. That is our draft. Our predictions are upon us. Gods, which way are you going?
Not much time to think about Death Prophet pick.
Yeah, no, it's
I feel Liquid are going to be coming off good high. They looked a lot more relaxed going on to game 3, and draft-wise, just looking pretty good with the early Lycan pick. I think it's a hero Newbee are going to struggle to deal with.
Okay, so you're going to go with Liquid?
Liquid it is.
All right. Ben?
I will also go with Liquid. I think teams that are attempting to emulate Secret have been doing way better than they would have been using their own stuff.
Okay, we're definitely calling this the secret meta at the moment, aren't we?
It's after the group stage performance, definitely.
Okay.
I'll take Liquid as well.
Wow.
To be honest, coming into the series, I wanted to choose Newbee as the winners for the series, but I don't know. Newbee's lineup just lacks that oomph. I think they need to end the game versus Liquid. I think the longer the game goes, the higher percentage it is for Liquid to take it.
Okay. A clean sweep here on the panel. All of them have gone for Team Liquid. Is that the way it's going to go as we head to our commentary team for game number 3 between Newbee and Team Liquid? Let's find out.
Thank you very much, Paul. Indeed, game 3 now between Team Liquid and Newbee. I'm Odie Pixel here with Sim. We've just had the drafts, and Cinderin. We're getting some Death Prophet play here on the main stage, and not any old Death Prophet, it's a Miracle DP.
This is a total change of pace from Liquid. I love seeing stuff like this where the first 2 games were pretty similar in style, and now they figure based on the opposing composition and maybe just to throw a curveball, they're changing it up quite a lot. This is way higher pace as a lineup. It is much more centered around taking down towers. They've got the Lycan, they've got the Death Prophet early, they've got the Nature's Prophet with the Treants. And then on the other side, Newbee are a bit more similar to what they've run so far. Excellent team fight, lots of stuns, lots of lockdown. However, I think the Sven pick might end up being better than it should have been in a sense.
Okay.
So they chose it. They chose it as a counter pick to Lycan specifically in the first phase.
Yeah.
And when you look at Liquid's lineup, it's really physically heavy. Death Prophet ultimate, Lycan himself. Nature's Prophet is a lot about physical damage later on into the game as well in general. So there are some itemization options here for Newbee, and activating the Sven I think is going to be absolutely crucial for them. But loving the picks this game. This is going to be great.
It should hopefully be a real clash of this kind of culmination of the series. A series that's been a very up and down affair. Game 1, Newbee strong from the start. Game 2 was where it started to take a bit of a turn. Newbee may have had that early game that was strong, but Liquid hit back hard as Miracle raised his game to his maximum potential on a TA performance that blew us away. And this Game 3. Let's see how we're going to kick things off. Top lane, KP. Maybe eyeing if he could go for some sort of a cheeky play, but hard to do so with Matuma having the backup of Kuro and GH in the lanes. And lane-wise, doesn't look to be anything too out of the ordinary. Everyone keeping their safe lanes to the safe lane and running those solo offliners. Do you think either of these kind of side lanes, these off lanes, going to have a hard time against the safe lanes of the opponents?
Not that hard. I think this is a really good lane for Legion, and I think it's a really good lane for Nature's Prophet as well, especially if this Earth Spirit is going to focus on mid. It's going to immediately run into a Miracle here. Might seem to kill the Spirit Siphon. Oh, he's holding his point for now. There he goes. Now he's killed it. But yeah, this laning stage I think is really important because top lane didn't really work out there for Kuro this time around. I think Liquid want to try to play this as fast as possible early on with a lot of pressure on towers, and then depending on their success, they might have to adapt a different strategy mid lane. Miracle's getting really low here, being pressured hard by Kaka and the CC.
And this giving Triple C a lot of space to get this strong start in the mid lane. And yeah, not only really just how well each offlaner is going to do, but how much they're able to do in terms of hindering the safe lane farm of their opponents, as both Sven and Lycan, two heroes that it's not too hard to get a good few CS or two really in those safe lanes, as if they want to try and stop them, those offlaners, they're going to have to harass them out, and neither likely to do so with both teams having that support combo safe and sound. Mid lane, Kuroki will just come in and trade a few hits back with SCCC. Miracle almost certainly calling for a bit of backup after that earlier pressure that was being applied by the two members of Newbee to himself.
Miracle's actually winning this lane really hard right now because, yes, he may have needed to use the Sal. Oh, they even killed a courier there. Mind control will die. I think Earth Spirit was in range for experience there with the TP. But anyway, what ended up happening here in mid is that they tried to pressure this DP a lot with the Earth Spirit, but as a result, they shared experience on Ember and Earth. And now SCC's level 1 against the level 3 Death Prophet. This is really difficult right now.
And I'd imagine, even though, it did look like the Earth Spirit did get the experience, but yeah, that SCCC, he's going to go out and down. That's your first blood for Liquid. And at the end of the day, that courier snipe play will make a huge difference in the mid lane. The fact that you've then gone ahead and got the first blood for your middle, suddenly this Game 3 beginning is a totally different start to that Liquid had earlier this series.
This is a big early game advantage, I would say. Massive. Just 2.5 minutes in, if you can have this kind of an advantage, it's already looking good for you, especially with a lineup like Liquid's that wants to just build this advantage up quickly and then look to push towers. And then based on their success, if it goes great, they'll keep pushing towers. If it gets harder in the mid game, they're also good at split pushing. The main problem with that is that there's an Ember on the opposing side, but if you play around it well, opportunities aplenty for Liquid in this game.
SCCC. Oh, unlucky shards from Kuro. As it will push SCCC out.
Might have been lucky at the end of the day. If they commit on that kill and Earth Spirit rolls in next to the tower and they've changed, they could have killed Kuro there on the tower, possibly. But didn't get baited to go for it because he didn't land the shards.
One thing that Newbee can certainly look to try and use against Liquid is the fact that this Earth Spirit's hitting some very quick levels. Level 3 at the 3rd minute. That is a lot of potential from Kaka.
Absolutely. But it's just hard to find kills in mid. First of all, I really like the DP into Ember in lane. Just having the Spirit Siphon, Ember has to run next to deal damage with Flame Guard, and then you can break the Flame Guard pretty easily. We're going to probably see that exact thing just now from Miracle.
Yeah, good kickback as well to buy some time. Is the heal going to be enough to keep him alive? He's got the backup of Kuroki. Looks to try and block them off with the shards. Won't slow down SCCC, but forces Kaka to back off. Miracle's now able to turn. GH is coming with the rotation. Mind Control joins the crew as well, and Liquid pick up a second kill in the mid lane. SCCC taken down 2 times. And yeah, it just really feels like Liquid have read kind of the situation in terms of what they were struggling with in Game 1 and Game 2. You know, these were both games early in the series where SCCC, he was getting the double kills, he was getting the first bloods in mid lane. This time around, Liquid are making sure the exact opposite of that happens.
I feel like from a drafting perspective, this DP is like a stroke of genius from Kuro personally. And as far as the laning stage goes, I still have my concerns later on as far as their ability to take team fights into this massive stun lineup with a lot of damage and armor from Newbee. But just for the purpose of playing this mid lane, DP is amazing. It's hard to play against for Ember already. And Earth Spirit also doesn't want to roll into the Spirit Siphon. You saw that play. They committed almost everything, and they still didn't bring down Miracle and end up trading their Ember Spirit away for nothing.
You can see now, though, mid lane, Newbee very much wanting to find something in return. They throw 3 heroes down.
That's a bit too much.
And it gets the kill done. It was needed. If we saw them go for that again with just 2 Sin, it may have just gone south like the previous attempts.
Yep. I like this from Newbee, even though it failed, they're taking advantage of Spirit Siphon's long cooldown. Nice kill by Liquid, by the way, here top. Again, combining a lot of heroes. We're going to see them push into the tower here.
They should be able to claim this as well. I don't think there's going to be any response from Newbee with 4 heroes beating into this top lane, Mind Control joining the forces. And it's, as you said from the draft, it's already seeming to be just a much faster paced game that Liquid want to play. And that could be one of Newbee's weaknesses.
Definitely could be. I mean, so far so good. Be a Sprout here from Mind Control, trying to secure the town. Almost got the deny there.
Faith's in trouble there. Taking a blast, KP will purge the slow off. And that looks like it will be enough to save Silence at Kaka, TPing across from the Shrine. See if they want to fight. Liquid fairly low on mana. It doesn't look like that's enough to allow Newbee to really get stuck in. As mid lane, Miracle continues to apply the pressure. Getting some damage done onto the tier 1. Very close to hitting the level 6.
Miracle's Curb Swarm currently completely removes Flame Guard from SC.
We are rolling from Kaka on the mid lane, looking for the kickback on Miracle. They do have the chain set up. Miracle, is the heal going to be enough? He has got presence of Kuroky and Mind Control turning up, and that will be enough for the time being. It's a deep, deep snowball though for Kuroky as they dive the tower. They're looking for SCCC. They will find him. Miracle getting chunked down by the Ghost Trick with the movement speed. It could be too fast. Roll for from Kaka. Miracle looking for the jukes. It doesn't matter. U9 comes in with a second Ghost Trick smack and brings him down. It's a 2-for-1 at the moment. GH now turning up, but a great boulder smash from Kaka into the silence. Grabs 2, and Newbee will pick up the double for U9.
This is like so different from the previous 2 games. It's as if 2 different teams are playing almost. Especially Liquid really turning on the heat here. Great counterplay from Newbee, however, and they need to bring this Ember into the game. It's so important that these plays work out because SC is still, he has a lot of catching up to do. He's still very low level, full level and a half behind Miracle in this mid lane. And the guy who's quietly just building himself up is Matumba. Sven has been,
for sure, he's been left
involved in
alone.
fights. Matumba's just farming on this Lycan.
At top of the net worth at the moment, Matumba will be going for, of course, that Mask of Madness build. The question is kind of where he goes from then. Is he going to be the Mask of Madness armlet? As we mentioned earlier before the game, do you think he has to prioritize the defusal quite early to deal with the Warcry, Sven? Or can he go for other items? Or is a BKB going to be a necessity very, very early this time?
I think Armlet is really difficult to use in this game. You're against Flame Guard, you're against Magnetize, you're against Curse, Arcane Curse from the Silencer. He might still get it just for the immediate burst of health when he goes in, and because it's so extremely valuable stat-wise for the Lycan. But the BKB, I think, is a really good call. It is going to be a necessity on their cores. We might even see one on DP in this game at some point. Curious to see his build as well. There's multiple options here for Matumba.
Mid lane will be pressured a little bit. U9 after coming in for that very successful fight. Using his presence to push down the tier 1. Has got strength back up and available again. Modification will be popped. Liquid wanting to fight. Matumba ready to lead in here with the ultimate form. Goes straight for U9. Holds it back with a Stormhammer. GH will hit the slow. Matumba man. It's a hard play for him to move up to the high ground for more. The Warcry is out. That armor just a little too much really for Matumba to dive in and try and bring down heroes into the cover of at the moment.
Good play from Liquid though. They got the bottom tower and they defended their mid tower at the same time. Making very, very good use so far of the Nature's Prophet, in my opinion.
KP found himself a little bit of a free action here, potentially. He does have a duel, but in fact the snowball enough to ward him to TP out, down towards the bottom lane where they've actually caught out Mind Control. Quick TP from KP to get the bigger duel win as he brings down the Furion and puts his hold to this tier 2 push down bottom.
Yeah, Legion is getting pretty big here. It's level 8, 8.5 minutes in as an offlaner, very high levels on KP. Farm is also looking pretty good for him. And that's something to keep in mind as well. The Blade Mill can be very, very dangerous for both Lycan and the Death Prophet. U9 farming a stack there. He's going to get probably a top of the net worth from this stack, or it's pretty close. It's just shy by 30.
Just about to creep out. Those two creeps should do it. At least put him on the same level as Matumba Man, and pretty much neck and neck. Yeah, now the slightest of leads, but incredibly close between these two position ones.
Both playing Mask of Madness. Want to point out how good Liquid's warding is right now. The ward between the two towers mid and the ward aggressively up top lane has given them a lot of information. It's always great when you're playing with Nature's Prophet if you have deep wards, because if you can predict the enemy's movement, you can be very well prepared to just outnumber them in every turn. And of course, this type of vision makes it very easy to hit the Wrath of Nature as well when it is off cooldown soon for Matumba Man. Well, not Matumba Man, Mind Control.
Mind Control.
Mind Control.
I don't blame you there. Matumba Man, of course, a very formidable
as well. Oh, Kuro is in no man's land this time around.
Very deep round. And KP, does he have the duel up? He does. That'll be an extra bit of bonus damage. Very nice for the Legion Commander. Plus 20 already at 10 minutes in. He'll certainly take that. Liquid potentially going to look to try and strike back and catch Newbee off guard. They're smoked up from the high ground. SCCC would be a lovely catch, but he himself, of course, very hard to get unless they land a silence from Miracle, really. Again, is it one of these games with a bit of a lack of lockdown? And as you said, with no skill point, not much at all they can do to trap him. At the least, they'll force down their mid lane, tier 1 being pressurized.
Still done a great job. SC is still very far behind. He's currently 6th on the net worth as a position 2. And by quite a large margin as well.
U9 for the lead in, tries to get the AoE stun off the creep, potentially hoping for Miracle.
Matumba, nice flank behind the support.
Oh yeah, straight in onto Faith on the silencer. Faith still manages to survive. Good boulder smash with Kaka, but the ult comes flying through for the Nature's Prophet. That's one down. Moving towards Kaka, gets the magnetize off. Liquid still looking to pursue forward. Newbee back at the cover of the tier 2. Turn around, a huge burst. That will hold Liquid back.
How much damage was that overall?
It's definitely, I mean, we saw them, even though they picked the Legion first.
1.8k.
I mean, it's a strong spell. So.
All right.
And it's perfect against the kind of lineup that Liquid are running.
Yes, they are bound to group up quite a bit. DP needs to come in close to deal damage, so does Lycan. Nature's Prophet's Treants can help amplify it as well. But mission accomplished for Liquid. They got the mid tower, that's what they came for. And now I think the next thing Liquid are planning for here is going to be Roshan. They will be able to kill it pretty quickly. They don't have any minus armor item just yet. I would imagine we will see one on either of the supports getting a medallion. And I'm loving this from Miracle, buying the Hood of Defiance this game.
Yeah, we just saw from that overwhelming odds exactly why you need that. One of the answers to one of the counters essentially that Newbee have to the way that Liquid are trying to play this game. And both cores are indeed going for that same build. The Mask of Madness into Armlet. As they both close in at similar rates. Matumba Man slightly ahead. And we'll be there shortly. And I mean, with that on top of the Mask of Madness, definitely quick potential for Liquid to try and sneak a Roshan. They certainly also, with this sort of lineup, could try and smoke up and get a kill. They've already managed to get some good map control around the pit with those 2 tier 1s down in the middle of the top lane, limiting the angles that Newbee can approach the pit. Well, KP won't quite be caught out. They start to move towards him up top. Liquid. Quick TP out to safety, and KP will be fine. Still, though, Miracle has got the Invis rune. Eyes on KP. We'll move up to the high ground.
Good tree end placement here from Mind Control. Spots out these 2 cores, so Liquid know what they're dealing with right now. They saw the TP from Sven. Interesting game, by the way, as far as the graphs are concerned. Liquid with a gold lead but an experience deficit. And this is, of course, they've claimed 3 towers to the 0 of Newbee. But the experience advantage probably mainly coming the way of Sven clearing these stacks.
Miracle's patience here has bought them time to continue to maintain vision of KP, and now Liquid, they'll close in on the Legion Commander, and it'll be an easy kill for the side. As that's the Legion out, down for 30 seconds. With this time, they could look towards Roche.
They definitely could. It's a big kill as well. KP is worth a lot of experience. He's level 11.5. Highest level in the game, actually. Even above the Sven. Not anymore, I suppose. But oh, they're going for Sven as well. This is a big kill if they get it.
And he's on his own. There is a shrine to TP to, but it looks like no TP's available at the moment on Newbee. He has the war cry to try and help him out, but Miracle there with the wraparound, jukes out the boulder smash attempt from Kaka. There'll be a Storm Bolt to try and hold them back, but it's not enough. Liquid to bring down U9. And the big kill that they would have hoped for, the most farmed member of Newbee, of course, at this moment in time. And with those 2 quick kills, they'll head into Roche. KP is back up. 20 seconds until the Sven is there. They could contest this.
This is dangerous for Liquid, I think. Newbee have a lot of AoE damage and nukes.
But the ghosts are out, though. Liquid are credit shot. Good Winter's Curse from GH to hold them back. The 3-man silence follow-up from Kuroki comes across in the snowball. Straight onto Faith. They've already eliminated the 2 supports. That would have loved to look for initiation, but as you mentioned, just GH straight up with the Winter's Curse. And just the AoE silence making it impossible as Miracle lands it
nice
from the low ground. They can't even walk past them.
Great stuff from Liquid. This is amazing play coming out from them this game.
Very, very different Liquid to the start of this series.
And Newbee really wanted to take this fight because they have a fresh Veil on SC. He finally has his first item.
Sin. It's perfect.
Yeah, they have the good vision placed down. The heroes are moving in together. It is crucial that Faith gets caught in this curse. He doesn't manage to get global off. And the fight is already lost then. Not able to save the Earth Spirit. The reason this fight can get really scary for Team Liquid is that they're clustered up 3 heroes in the
Some smiles on Kuro there. He's like, we're winning. We're doing it, guys.
Having a giggle.
Having a giggle indeed. 10-6. Definitely by no means a massive advantage for Liquid, but a certain one at the least. Newbee still with SCCC trying to climb his way back up the ranks. U9 in terms of wider progression actually changed his mind. He did have the armlet queued up, but picked up the Sange and is looking directly for the S&Y first.
Yep. I think he might feel like it's too difficult to use the armlet. There's so many things that are annoying. The Spirit Siphon, the Exorcism, the Wolves, hard to toggle through all of this. Just goes for the stable. Common build nowadays is this Mask into S&Y. And to me, it just seems like it's just a matter of time before Newbee find a good engage. If they get a good jump fairly soon, before Liquid build a big enough advantage, I still favor Newbee in teamfights. I think ease of execution is on their side. And the big hero to look out for Liquid is the Winter Wyvern. A key curse can change everything.
And there we go. They try to look to close the gap onto U9, but KP's actually going to be one that wants to jump in on the fight. The Global Silence used as well to make sure they get a clean pick off onto Miracle. They'll turn towards the Wyvern. GH will fall as well. And exactly as you just mentioned, Sin, Newbee having this opportunity to look for this perfect sort of fight. And when they get a duel and the Global Silence off, it's very easy for them to execute it.
Exactly, and they found the right target. So the one thing that is happening during all of this with Liquid winning fights is that they're 5-manning a lot, and this Death Prophet is not that high level and not that far.
And they're going to fight some more as well.
Bonus pick.
More money into the bank for U9.
Striking back quickly. It's all a matter of getting the jump.
It really is.
Newbee. They have a guaranteed kill every fight if they instant global. The Wyvern is a great counter pick to the Legion, but the Silencer in turn has been so far not that effective, but we see the potential of it right there if they get the jump. Their follow-up is so amazing on the Newbee side. You might see GH. I'm not sure if he's going to decide to switch out this Blink for another item so he can break global, because that is a really big problem for his team.
You also have to very close to being done for Miracles, so at the least DP will be able to save himself.
Unless he gets dueled, then he's just dead.
For sure.
If he's fast at reacting, if he has vision and they bait the Legion to jump in and he instant duels him, that could make an amazing fight for Liquid.
Absolutely. And then as soon as he comes down, getting the chance to instant silence.
Yep.
Definite ways that the Liquid can turn a bad initiation, but as we saw, Newbee can do it cleanly. It's very hard for Liquid to fight into.
Keeping up the pressure nicely here. They just lost the fight, but they still identify that they can claim this tier 2 bottom freely. Now, Newbee are in this awkward position in the game where they've had a couple of good fights. They have a decent amount of kills, but they haven't taken a tower. And they're struggling to push out these lanes because of this nature problem. Kaka, quick roll.
Yeah, can't quite get the connection onto Kaka. But we are seeing them and Timmerman doing a very good job of microing these walls and getting vision in places where Newbee don't quite expect Liquid to have.
comes the push. Once again, I think Newbee will be interested in fighting this. Global up in 5. They do not have Glyph, however. They need to go in fast, else it's over.
Let's see what the kind of jump they want to go for. They smoked up to close the gap. KP in immediately with the duel, and again, there's the combination. Duel into silence. They get one. They'll land the stun onto Matuma. They pick a second. The Aegis is popped. Liquid, can they save the Wolf Boy? They'll try and get themselves back in. GH does land the Winter's Curse. It'll be enough to buy Matuma Man some time to walk off, but they'll chase it down. SCCC and U9 looking for him. They'll try and cancel GH's TP. Won't be successful, but it doesn't matter for Newbee because they're getting the bigger kill. They'll find Matuma, bring him down as well. Aegis and 2 cores gone just like that, and again, it's just textbook performance from this dual global silence combination.
That was perfect timing. The Wyvern actually almost got a spell out, but immediate global once again. And Liquid, they lose the fight again. They're hemorrhaging a couple of kills, but they're taking objectives. They got the tower again. The bottom tier 3 is taking damage as well. And they use their Aegis.
At mid lane, they've just trapped U9 here with the shards of the roll in. Miracle ready to go. The silence lands onto 3. And with the Sprout splitting the fight up, forcing U9 and KP to run away from Kaka. It's impossible for Newbee to turn. They've just got to tuck their tails and run. But there's no way U9 gets himself away. Miracle siphons him down, finds the kill. And already 20 minutes in, this is really feeling like the game 3 we hoped it to be. Seeing a lot of back and forth action, and both teams showing us how they can take a good fight. Yeah, it should be a solo for SCCC. Oh, unless he gets a Sprout like that, it doesn't matter. Okay, Remnant's still there for SCCC. Held on to the 3rd for an exact situation like that. At 12-12, 20.5 minutes in, both teams fighting hard, and you can really feel it here in this single elimination bracket. Kiev Major.
Oh my, Miracle. He's a little bit careful with his positioning here. Global is on cooldown still, however. But yeah, Mind Control managed to get a great kill there on Kaka as well. I'm pretty sure we were following the other one on U9, but very nice kill to take down the Earth. Got a little bit too excited porting bottom. And by the way, Mind Control is really rich. He needs to be careful not to give away too many kills. We're seeing the fight here again. Excellent execution from Newbee.
And Matuma being brought down. The real big one. Newbee keeping themselves composed. Everything on the line here in this game. A little bit of a... I don't think he was rolling his eyes. As much as, lubricating the eyeballs. That's as the pro players do. Have a good roll. It's good to do, lads. Everyone at home, make sure you do blink. You don't want to dry your eyes out. It's bad for your health.
I see Miracle now building in toward an Octarine core. I'm wondering if he will stop halfway to maybe consider a Ghost Scepter. Or if he wants to go for maybe a casual plate mail. This seems like a really big build-up for him. But at the same time, there's no obvious item that is just going to solve all his problems right now.
Look at this. These wolves are so good, aren't they, Sin?
They
just
are.
Having this invis kind of tracking capability that's very hard to deal with. We've seen Newbee starting to lay down multiple Sentry Wards to deal with this. But it just gives you so much information. And in a game where, for Newbee, it's all about getting the jump, this is only going to make it harder.
I think Matumba is the best player in the world at this with Lycan. Liquid were insane during, I believe it was a TI with Matumba Men's Lycan as well. Just gathering so much information with this hero.
I mean, how do you play? You kind of got to get a gem ready. You can't afford to just sentry up the whole map.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's one of the big advantages that this hero has. Oh, smoke from Liquid. This is a big moment. Everything is ready for both sides.
Yeah, Newbee can react.
Nature's Prophet ultimate. Oh, smoke's gonna break.
Let's see who gets the jump. Kaka's already in the tree lines.
And they saw him now.
Yeah, they've got the ward on the high ground, so they will know that Liquid have come in for this movement. Newbee, do they want to try and jump in themselves? That's the question. Bring down one of the wolves. Sigil will be sent over, so both teams are kind of realizing that neither are going to get that perfect opportunity to jump.
Oh, a C-top. Mind Control is going to walk away. Shadow Bladed. And Newbee want to get information around Roshan, but this could cost them. The Wolves again.
Allowing Liquid to have this vision to set up any sort of play or jump that they can find. Chasing. But in terms of sort of long-range catch, it's a little harder for Liquid for sure. They need to have that opening with a Shards or a good Sprout. Mind Control will sprout out the Sven. He's got the Quelling Blade in his backpack. He's got no way to cut through the trees. He's been surrounded. We'll get the chance to stun, but it doesn't matter. The Exorcism there. The Winter's Curse. Oh, GH is beautiful. He catches 3. The silence, the snowball follows through for Liquid. And it's going to be a 4-5-man team-wide. Liquid are just stepping it up every game in this series, and that fight was one of the most beautiful ones we've seen so far today on the main stage, Sin. Absolutely perfect from everyone on Liquid.
You can get so much value out of Sprout. Sometimes it's amazing. And obviously at this point, the Sven is just punching himself in the head for having this mithril hammer, I believe it was, isn't it, in his inventory instead of the
He
quelling.
looked in his backpack.
And he was like, oh, I made a horrible mistake. And this is such a big grab for Liquid. They get, I think that was, they got 5-man wipe, they got a tower, they got a buyback from Legion, and they will be able to set up for Roshan now as well.
That was absolutely insane.
Huge
And
fight for them.
GH, that positioning he got himself into, you saw, being able to get the blink first. In situations like that where you can just transcend one kill into a team wipe, it's because of GH getting there with the Winter's Curse onto the back lines. And then there's just so much AoE to follow through. The death prop is brilliant with the Winter's Curse. You're going to get this easy multi-man silence. They've basically got a pseudo global silence on their side, Liquid, and it's at a much less cooldown.
Just getting so much information. It's not only the Wolves, it's also the Treants. Like, it's hard for Newbee to catch a break here, make any sort of move. Liquid are just ready for it.
Here as well. I mean, as we mentioned, poor old U9, no way to cut his way out, and then GH is there. The shards as well, of course, from Kuro, contributing to bringing them all together for that initial connection. And there was no way that Newbee could play their way out of that sort of team fight. GH.
And that's what, again,
one of the best Wyverns in the world.
Opposite of the previous game where we had a little bit of help a friend syndrome from Liquid early on. They could have cut the Sven there, and like that was a mistake, but it's a big core. It's tempting to try to help him there. They might be able to get slight chains, create the space they need to back away, maybe get a turnaround with Global. But Liquid, where they're in full force, they got the perfect jump. And they're building a big advantage now, 12,000 gold. Roche is up. Should be theirs for the taking. They have way better information all the time than Newbee. Newbee sitting on one good Roche ward that they kind of have to play around. And Sven finally picking up this BKB could give them options. This means they have to put the Winter's Curse on him, or he will be able to go for plays. Obviously can ignore the curse during BKB on other targets.
And it means he's got a slot in his back, in his items for the quelling.
Very nice.
So that will not be
very
happening
necessary.
Definitely against these sort of sprouts from Mind Control.
And he's working on a Blink Dagger next. I think this is the exact correct choice. Even should have maybe considered buying it earlier, I'm not sure. It seems to be the case that Newbee just needs to get the jump, as we've seen before, but struggling to find the advantage simply because of all the scouting once again. Maybe a gem pickup now wouldn't be half bad for them, but who's going to buy it? They all want to make progress to the next item.
It's how do you move around the map if you're Newbee? I mean, you do, but it's like a map hack. Liquid know everything.
And it's even difficult to smoke, not because the Wolves see your smoke, but because they see so much of the map that if you have multiple heroes missing, it becomes pretty apparent for Liquid. Oh, not again, U9. They are eyeing him in mid with the Wolves. Not going for it, though. Finally, Newbee get their first tower of the game, 27 minutes in.
They are into the Roche pit. Can they get away with this? Taking it without Liquid noticing. It's very, very slow. And yeah, with these walls moving around, not a chance that Newbee can do anything like that. They can't go for the sneaky plays. They have to fight Liquid head on or manage to try and maintain these walls a little bit better. And talking about the wall problem, Matuma Man going in, will be jeweled up, but the stun's there. Global Silence comes out in time, making sure that GH can't get through with the follow-up Winter's Curse. Matuma Man, though, still sitting on maximum health here. Boulder smashed by Kaka as they try and hold him back. U9 goes in. Again, he's been sprouted. This time will cut his way out, but Mind Control's there with the wraparound. Lays down hard with the Silver Hedge hit and the Maelstrom that he's now picked up on the Nature's Prophet. And again, it's a big trade at the moment for Liquid. They'll catch Faith as well. Only losing Kuroki and picking up 2 from Newbee, including that big old kill on the Sven. Once again, the BKB not making the difference that Newbee would have hoped for.
And Newbee seems to be starting to show some nerves here. This duel was actually pretty damn good, but the Global took a full second to come through. And yes, it prevented the curse, but GH already got off the Cold Embrace on the Lycan. So this entire duel effectively completely wasted as they don't have any damage to lay into him. And then once it ends and they have the Global Silence running, they don't find the key picks, they only get Kuroki. The cores are fine and dandy, and Matumba Man full health. He's like, okay, the biggest counter you have to me in the fight was wasted. Let me just run at your heroes and kill you off. Liquid again. Bigger and bigger lead. Newbee have to be really crisp on this. If they finally get a duel, they finally get the opportunity, the Global needs to be immediate. It needs to be instant during this duel, or it's just not happening. GH now with a full mechanism as well.
Oh, he's nearly got Guardian Greaves complete as well. 300 or so gold, and that will be in his pocket. And then even in that situation, if you draw the Global Silence with the Greaves Aura and the buff, it's very likely you still save the target.
Yeah, the Greaves are going to be a true game changer for him.
Yeah.
The problem that he had before is now going to disappear in 250 gold. That's actually the biggest item pick of the game, I feel like, when he gets these Greaves.
I mean, we've seen the plays that he's been able to pull out under pressure, and now having that comfort of the debuff. It's very scary. Matuma Man actually going to make his way up top with the ultimate form. And it's not just a push, but at this stage, the cooldown not too long to play around at all, and unlikely that Newbee are going to be able to find the chance to fight and pressure whilst it's unavailable. Bottom lane, Liquid may even find a bit of solo action. Kaka is pushing out the lane at the moment on his own, and may just be caught out here if GH spots him. Kaka's actually going to go for the play. They will be bringing SCCC across with the bots, but this could go bad for Liquid. Quick blink back by SCCC, making sure that he doesn't get silenced, and he will just leave Kaka for dead. So at the least, SCCC with the good realization after TPing out that this instantly was not the place he can be.
Yeah, had to get out of there immediately, and another kill going the way of Liquid. They still have about 2 minutes left on this nighttime. Of course, we actually haven't even talked about how the whole game.
Yeah,
I just realized.
For sure, it's a good spell. They
have nighttime, they have Aegis. Could be a possibility to think about how grounding.
How ground?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
You bring out the best in me, Owen.
Yep. Out of multiple orifices.
Yeah, okay.
Bottom lane.
Toby comment.
God damn it.
Well, let's see if Liquid are able to break high ground here. They are thinking about it at least. AC coming in. Yep, all right, it's a full commitment.
Yep.
Let's go.
Let's see what Newbee can do to stop this. Up to the high ground, they try and go. The jewel's there, and there's the Global Silence. Can they bring down Miracle in time? Yes, they can. Huge amounts of burst. U9 just cleaving through them here with a God Strength. They managed to shut down 2. They've lost KP, but Newbee are holding. And it's a stronghold as well, and they're not quite done. The Dust connects onto Mind Control. Kaka, North walk the high ground, chains onto 2. There will be a snowball to find them sometime. Is it enough to get anyone out there? No, Mind Control's out and down. The third death for Liquid, and Newbee, they are not done yet. They'll move on for a fourth. Croaky trying with the Dukes, will dodge the roll, but the chains are there from SCCC, and Newbee, they hold. They cut Liquid down incredibly hard. 4 heroes hitting the deck. And Liquid maybe just getting a little too ahead of themselves there. It was straight up. They had the exorcism, but there just was not enough self-sustain to keep that DP alive. The Global Silence and the duel, no delay this time. Instantly a reaction.
All right, so I'm not sure which one of these things happened in the fight, but either Wyvern didn't have Greaves yet, or Wyvern was out of position, or the Greaves were on cooldown. One of those 3 things definitely happened here for GH, and it made the world of difference. If he gets Cold Embrace off there, the fight's completely different, or a Curse.
I mean, I believe what could have maybe happened is, again, he could have debuffed the first, but then a second instance of a silence came through. Maybe the Kaka caught him out.
Could have been, I didn't see, but regardless, he can't, Kaka, speaking of him, he's going to get killed off by Matuma.
Absolutely, chopped down by the big wolf. Matuma turns up.
GH has to be really careful with his positioning out. He's been super good so far in this game, but if he comes in just a little bit too close and gets caught by anything, Sven stun, a silence from the Earth Spirit after Global, it's fight deciding. Liquid will be going straight away once again, it looks like. They want to get at least the tier 3, knowing now Global is on cooldown, there's an Earth Spirit dead, they still have Aegis. TP ulti is still available, actually. I guess it just came off cooldown again. Octarine plus...
Octarine doing magic.
Limit a lot of the cooldown, down to 110 seconds with that.
And
this is the harder hold, actually.
It is. Without your global, you are losing a big tool, but it is just 14 seconds. It's nearly back up. U9 actually going to get the connection straight up to Matuma Man. Jump in, Miracle out with the Exorcism. Siphon to force U9 back. They managed to open up to the racks. Damage flying through hard from Matuma Man. The fortification comes out. Newbee, can they hold? Matuma Man still with that Aegis and PKB, of course. There's the jump in the duel. They'll get it onto Miracle. The silence comes back unavailable. They'll pop it out. They've managed to take down 2. The Aegis has popped as well. Newbee are holding. There'll be a snowball fall from Kuroki trying to finish off the kill onto the Legion. Will get KP, but they're going to lose 3. Matuma Man, PKB's trying to man up against Faith. The war cry slowing down his pursuit. Faith with the Ghost Scepter survives. They've lost 4 on Liquid. Matuma Man will get the melee racks. Can he get his way out of here? That's the question. And it looks like he has got the time. He runs out. Kaka looking for the change. The chain slider fist combo from SCCC catches out Matuma, and Newbee will finish off Liquid. They lost the melee racks, but they hit back so damn hard. Liquid, they can't afford to make these plays anymore, Sin.
U9 super clutch in that play. The moment Global Silence comes out during the duel, he blinks on the back line and instant stuns the Wyvern, taking him completely out of the fight, killing him off solo. And again, this entire game is being played around Global Silence. It's the most important ability. Global Silence and duel. Newbee, best fight from them the whole game, that one. So good coordination with everything. Instant global and duel, catching off the Wyvern. Speaking of, very quick blink there from GH.
Quick blink.
And GH, I think, in that fight was super ready for it. He was so ready for with the grease that he might not have been paying attention to the Sven's movements. These fights are really chaotic. It's hard to follow through with everything here. Keep up with it. And Miracle, he dies so quick.
I mean, that's the overall though.
Instant dies every fight. Almost.
Surely you have to be worried for Liquid in that sense, because they've done that three times. That's the third time it felt like they've gone for that push, and it's just cost them massively. You can't. I mean, Newbee, SCCC, and U9 are just going to start to scale up. Yep. And as the game goes on, is a Death Prophet and a Lycan really going to keep up with those two?
I think this game gets really difficult for Liquid when it goes very late. I definitely agree with that. They still have a bit of a buffer. And they obviously did get the barracks, so
they did get the melee racks.
Not a complete disaster for them.
Look at the gold swing.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money to pay for a melee racks.
It's not ideal by any means. I still think Newbee overall were the victors of the last 5 minutes, even though they lost the lane. Especially the gold coming in for, I would say, the Ember Spirit is getting really important. So what's happening now is that SCC is closing in on his level 25. He will have the Octarine coming up in 100 gold. Yep. And the amount of control that he can output is an issue for Liquid. They don't have much to fight with after the BKBs expire. They're going to get completely controlled by all of these stuns and silences and whatnot that Newbee can bring at them. So they have this short timing window with the 9-second BKB on the Furion and the 7-second BKB on the Lycan, where they need to get the job done. I feel like once those BKBs are out, their team fight is just flat out weaker in almost every single aspect.
But then that's one thing that Liquid do have. There is potential to play this the rat style. They've already done what they needed to. They've opened up the base, taken down that melee racks. There is an avenue of opportunity to get themselves in there. I mean, the question, Newbee's lineup, they do have, as you mentioned earlier, the Ember. Do you feel have they got enough to deal with Liquid if they do start to split up and really go heavy in with the split push?
I think Ember is a really key hero in that regard. He can do a lot of pushing on his own with fairly minimal risk in this game. If you look at the heroes he's facing, and especially the item build coming out from Mind Control. Until now, Mind Control can't control the Ember. But with this Orchid that he's building into maybe a full Bloodthorn, it could get a bit trickier for the Ember Spirit, who in this game has not gone for a Linkens.
There's no defensive items potentially.
There's a smoke now coming from Newbee. This is once again a big moment. Ember can connect on this mid wave. Needs to be careful not to TP. Okay, it's gone.
Let's see what they can
Miracle
do with this.
getting rid of that.
High ground being marked by Kuroki. They'll spot out U9. They know to get the
Kuro
hell out
here.
of there. Kurome paralyzed. There's the jump though. Still, Newbee will still find it. The global silence. Angel being popped. GH gets too close. The cleave just rips him down. They've lost the Winter Wyvern on the sidelines. Kuroki will find the kill onto the Earth Spirit. But to a man pops the ultimate of the BKB. Looks towards U9. The Silver Edge from Mike Troll limiting the output of the Sven. They do find a third. Out in the tree line, KP will blink away, but Liquid managing to fight past that ultimate. The initiation not strong enough for Newbee. There'll be a buyback from SCCC. U9 has got buyback available, but there's no God strength. They're massively limited in what they can do here, Newbee, and Liquid are ready to abuse it straight down the mid. They'll clear down the tier 3. Newbee, what can they do with limited options here? SCCC with the jump forward, chains onto 2. Trying their best to hold Liquid away from picking up a second set of racks for the time being. It looks like it may just be enough with the Exorcism running out. Liquid will back. It's the duel. They come in. Can they protect Matumaman? The Solar Crest, the Snowball. It may just be enough to protect you from this duel. They've got the lockdown on KP. KP's out. Matumaman survives. But this one's SCCC gets the Sun Fist out. They're falling low, but it doesn't matter. U9's down. There's a dieback from Sven. A dieback from SCCC. And Liquid, they've definitely done it here, Sin. Both calls on Newbee down for 100 seconds. No way for them to get back in this game. GG is called, and Liquid are moving on.
Clearly Liquid's best game in this series.
What a turnaround from game 1 to game 3. This series has just been an upward spiral, and a sharp one as well for Liquid, because at the start it looked incredibly grim for them.
I really liked in this game how well Liquid played. I've said it a couple of times, the whole vision thing, but this last fight is all vision. Kuro superior positioning on the high ground, completely counters Kaka's attempt at engaging on him with the Earth Spirit. The Wolves in position once again. And Liquid, even though that fight, GH